So this is a hopefully quick little intro into Photoshop, or if you've already had my class before, a little review about some of the important functions and features that we're going to be using in Photoshop. So first thing we need to do is make a new document, a new Photoshop document. So depending on, I don't know if yours looks like mine. If it doesn't, you can come up to File and New, and you will get a box that comes up. We can ignore this stuff for right now and just come over here, regardless of what yours looks like. Type in, or make sure we're in inches. We're working in inches. You have lots of options over here. Let's stick to inches. Make it 8.5 is the width, 11 is the height. Resolution of 72. Resolution refers to the quality of the image, so it's literally 72 pixels per inch. So 72, those little dots or squares that you're used to seeing if you zoom into a photo real far. 72 is a low quality resolution, but it's perfect for any type of screen work. Or if it's only going to be viewed on a screen, 72 is perfect. When we print, we'll be typically working between 2 and 300, so a very a higher resolution, higher quality. We can print them out giant if we want to. So that's what that means. That's important to know what the resolution refers to. So once you have these specs in place, click Create or OK, depending on what yours looks like. Yours is probably fine. I'm going to fit mine to the screen with the zoom tool. So first tool to introduce you to or review is the Paintbrush. So this is our tool. This is our toolbar. All of these are tools. Up here are the options. It's the options bar for whatever tool you have chosen. You have options for that tool, which will you can find here. And then up here, this is the menu bar. And we'll get to this in a minute. This is our layers palette. So Paintbrush tool, it is, if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th tool down. If you right click, you'll see there are hidden tools behind tools. We just want the brush tool. You come over to your blank page. There is a keyboard shortcut to change the size because we want to save as much time as possible. So if you find the letter P key on your keyboard, next to that, to the right of that, there are brackets. The left bracket makes your brush smaller. The right bracket makes your brush bigger. So we're going to be making a sandwich, or we're going to make specifically a cheeseburger, just as like a easy little demo. So make it, I don't know, roughly this size. Your colors. If I hit the D on the keyboard, it'll default to this is your foreground, this is background. It'll default to black and white. So if I click on the front one, which is black, my colors look, I didn't change my color. So what I'm going to do, when you click on it, you'll have, you'll see this type of slider box, or you can do it over here. We're going to make a bun is the first thing. So I want like a tan color, and browns are in oranges. You need to go to buy the oranges, and if you click around, you'll see how it changes to different colors. You can see in the foreground what it's going to look like. So I'm going to go with this. So I picked my color. I'm going to come over here with my brush tool, and I'm going to make a big circle just by clicking. I'm not going to click and drag it, just click, and it's a circle. So we're going to add lettuce next. But if I were to, so let's see, let's pick a green. Some green lettuce. I'm going to make my brush smaller with the left bracket next to the letter P. We're not going for like artistic abilities here. We're just wanting to learn these basic functions. So don't spend too much time worrying about what it looks like. That's lettucey enough. However, if I messed up and I wanted to change it, and I went to, so 2 tools down from the paintbrush, if I wanted to erase it, it erases the bun too. So I'd have a really tough time, working with this. And this is one of the great things about Photoshop. So I'm gonna hit Control-Alt-Z, and if you tap the Z, it will step you backwards until you get to where you need to be. So I didn't want to add that lettuce to my bun or my background layer. We want to add a new layer so we can mess with it independently of any of the other ones. So this little icon that looks like a post-it note with a folded up corner, click on that and you'll see layer 1 pop up. Get in the habit right now at the beginning of labeling your layers. When we start working on more complex things and we have like 25 layers, you will lose your mind trying to find them if you don't have them labeled. So before we do anything, you just double click on if you double click on it, it'll allow you to name it. So I already got it, lettuce. So now I can come over. I was on the eraser tool. I need to be on the paintbrush tool. With my paintbrush tool, make some lettuce looking. Okay, there's my lettuce. Next we'll make a new layer. I hate tomato, but we'll add tomato. Tomato. Okay, make your paintbrush a little bit bigger. I'm going to make it just that size. I need a red. Click. If you have time, if I'm helping people or you have extra time, you can add a little bit of details if you want to. Like if you wanted to add the sections. Some people have been doing this. Some people just want to do the basics. That's fine for today, but just an option. Yours will look nicer with a mouse than my little touchpad. So I have a tomato. Next layer, add a new layer. Let's put the meat on there. So I'm just going to put this as burger. So back to the oranges. I need a darker one. That looks pretty good. Make it bigger. Maybe, let's see. That's a good size. Click. So you'll see that your layers are top down. It's like if you were building a sandwich looking at it from the top, this is what it's going to look like. That you don't see what's underneath it. It's still there, but you don't necessarily see it right now. So on top of our burger, let's make a new layer. Let's make it a cheeseburger. This requires, instead of making our cheese round, let's learn another tool. If you come down, it's the 3rd tool from the bottom, so it's probably easier. 1, 2, 3. Depending on what was there before, it might be a line tool. Right click on it to see the hidden tools. We want the rectangle tool. So click on that, and then the way this works, you have this little like pointer. Click, hold it, and then drag to make a rectangle. Now you'll get this pop up. It's giving me a black outline, which I do not want, so I'm going to click on the outline and I'm going to put the slash. I don't want an outline. I do want it a fill, so I'm going to click on there's no fill right now. So if I click on the fill and then choose one of these colors, now I have like what looks like cheddar cheese, I suppose. These 2 little arrows will hide that back. So now I have cheese. We're going to come back to the cheese in a minute, but let's finish our ingredients. So make another new layer. Now this is up to you. You want to add ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise. I'm just going to add mustard for the sake of time, but if you wanted to add more condiments, have at it. Make them on separate layers. Make sure you go, so I'm still on my shape tool. I want the paintbrush tool. Need to make it smaller. And add some mustard. Last one that I'm going to do. You had ketchup on there, mayonnaise. Wonderful. Just for the sake of time, we're going to do this one, the top bun. So when we're designing things, there are going to be times when you picked a color and you want to have that exact same color repeated in your design. If you go over to your layers palette over here, these eyes control the visibility of what layers you see. So you can turn them on and off. So I want to come down to this layer, my very first layer, the first bun that we did, and I want to get that exact color for the top bun, and that would be pretty difficult to eyeball. So what we can use, if you're on your brush and you go 2 tools up, which looks like an eyedropper and is called the eyedropper tool, click on that, and this will allow you, when I click it, you'll see that it has now picked up that exact color and made my foreground color that color. So it would be impossible for me to find that exact color without doing it this way. So this is very important to know how to do. So once I've clicked it and my foreground color has changed, you can turn these back on. A quick way, you can click and drag them all back on and go up. Make sure that you click on this layer to make it the, sorry about the sirens, doing this at school. Make this the active layer, so make sure it's the highlighted one, and then change it back to a paintbrush. Make your brush the bun size, and then you can click. So now, I mean, it looks like the top of a sandwich, how it would look. If you, again, if you have time and you want to add some details, you want some sesame seeds on your bun, okay. I'm just gonna put a few, or else I can get carried away in the details. So, so that's good. All right, last tool, and this is probably the most important tool. The very first tool is the Move tool. Click on the Move tool. Come up here to the options. Make sure that Show Transform Controls is checked. So, Move tool does exactly what it sounds like, but it also does some other cool things. It moves layers around. So, this was the active layer. Make the mustard the active layer. I can move it. Make the cheese the active layer. Now say the cheese, I didn't get the size right. I can resize it. As long as that Show Transform Controls is clicked, you'll have these options to resize it, to move it. Also, if you hover outside, you'll get a bent arrow, and you can rotate it if you want to. So if you wanted the cheese to be like that way, you can rotate it. Rotate it, move it, resize it. It will always make you commit to any time you resize something or rotate it. It's not going to let me come over here and do anything other than what I have going on right here. So either hit enter or hit the check mark to say, yes, I want you to do that, Photoshop to do that. And then I can move on and put them back together. So I'm going to come around. You need to show me that I need to see all of yours in separate layers. I need to see that you can use the Move tool, that you can resize, and that you understand how to rotate for your points.